This conference will now be recorded.
So you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
So we have not started access specifiers, right? Like I just told nothing we started, right? Access specifiers, or you have an access modifiers, call it as. So generally, why you need access specifiers or access modifiers, as we discussed in the beginning, like your Java is an object-oriented language, which allows, for example, whenever you do your procedure-oriented language. I think you're getting some disturbance. I'll get connected to Bluetooth. Give me 1 minute. Okay, not sure it is not working. Okay. So if you see access specifier or access modifiers, so as we discussed in the beginning, like whenever uh, you write any program in like procedure language, which will have a strict kind of rules, right? So you cannot able to access the what I mean to say, you have a requirement like you want some variables to be accessible to only particular method. So other methods cannot access, or you should want to make that restriction that you should make this access only for particular class members or something. So that kind of things will be really a little difficult when you do it in the procedure language. So that reason you have an in Java you have a, like in a procedure oriented language or Java, you have a concept called access specifiers, where it will give that specific like a restriction, like the name indicates, right? So whenever you declare a method or a variable, so I'll be telling it, okay, so this variable or this method of accessible only up to this limit. So some X person, some thing in my program cannot be accessed. So that will be telling by your access specifiers. So generally your access specifiers are divided into two levels, at class level and at a method level. So we'll see first at a class level, next we go with that method level. So generally we'll be discussing four access specifiers: public, so default. So if you are not writing anything, that comes to the default. The third one is your private, protected. So first we see at a class level. So what are access specifiers that can apply at my class level? So you can apply public and only default. You cannot apply private and protected at your class level. We'll see why, the reason. But assume that if I want to apply public access specifier at a class level, so if I say, so I will apply public class name. So before writing a class name, I'll just mention a public access specifier. Then it is nothing but you are telling it as the class as a public access specifier. So whenever your access specifier is public, so this class can be accessed within the package, outside the package. I think you know, like what is a package? So it is nothing but a set of a group of classes. You call it as a package. So like if you see in our application also, we are doing it in a default package. So this is nothing but my default package. So generally I'll be creating a package. Package is nothing but a combination of classes. So some classes together, I group it as a package. Package is nothing but it's a simple like a group of classes, I can say. Okay. So for example, you have a package called com.some examples. Okay, so this is my first package. So here there may be n number of classes. So assume that your class com.examples contains A, B, and C classes. Okay. Similarly, you will be having one more package called com.examples too. So even this may contain some more classes like D, E, F. Okay. So you made this access specifier as public. Okay. So then what happens? This class can be accessed from another classes. So generally, we will not create an object of a class in the same class, right? So here in a we have seen some examples where in a particular class, in A class itself, I have created the A class object. But generally, what you do, you will when it comes to an real time things, you create one class object and another class. So you will have a hazard relationship with. So we have seen a easier relationship like inheritance. A class extends another class. Same like you have an hazard relationship. It is like this class object will be created in some other class. So why I need to create in some other class? Because I need to call some of the methods which is present in the class here. Okay, you get these things more clear. So for example, I have a class here and I have a class D which is present in which package? This class D is present in com.examples and your class A is present in your com.examples one package. Okay. So how you will write with the package is nothing but here declaration of package will be package and package name. Package and package name is your com.examples1. So how you declare the D package is like say com.examples one. So it is a public, so that is the reason in class D what happens, I can able to create an object of A class. So I can perform the object creation is possible. It means I can able to access this A class outside the package. So which is in class D, which is present in com.example2. I'm able to access this A. Why? Because this access specifier they have done it as public. So public means it can be accessed within the package as well as outside the package. So like your E can access, your F can access. So whatever the class which is outside also can be accessed whenever it is public. So what is the next access specifier that we have is default. So what is the default? How we will specify default access specifier? If I am not writing a public, so then that is nothing but my default access specifier. If before a class, if I am not specifying anything, so that will be my default access specifier. So whenever your class is of default, so you cannot able to create the method. Sorry, you cannot able to access that class outside the package. So here, what is my access specifier? I am not writing anything, default. So this D is present in com.example2. So if I am trying to create an object of A here till, it will show compile time error. Why? Because it is access specifier is public. Sorry, access specifier is default. So whenever the access specifier is default, the accessibility is only within the package, not outside the package. Okay, is it clear? So I'll repeat it one more time. So whenever the access specifier is public, you can access anywhere within the package or outside the package. Whenever it is default, you can access class A only within the package. It means B can access, C can access, but D and E, F cannot access because they are outside the package. So we can see that with the example also. Is it clear?
Yes.
Writing a package called say com.examples1. Okay, this is my package. I have created a package, so I'm creating a class called A. Okay, same way I'll be creating one more package called com.examples2. So here I'll have a class called B. So here, what is an access specifier? Public. So what happens in a class B? For sure, I can able to access it. So what I'll have a main method, and I am trying to create an object of A. So which is possible, but it will ask for to do the import. That's it. So as I told you, it is telling okay. It is telling B is under this package, but A is present in under where it is present in com.examples1. So that need to be imported in this com.examples2. So for that, you have an import keyword which is defined in Java, which will import the com dot from examples1, which is importing A class. So if I want to import all the classes which is present in com.examples1, so I'll just put it as a star. So it will import all the classes. This examples1 may have n number of classes, right? So that can be imported here. So assume that if I am trying to make this as default, okay, I made it as default. So then what happens? It will start showing you a compile time. So it is saying that this accessibility is not possible. You cannot able to access this class. Change the visibility to A. So whenever you are having the public only, that can be accessed. So if it is default, it cannot be accessed. So where this if it is default, where it can be accessed, it can be accessible Now if I save this, I have written public, and if I save this, error will go. Okay, you see. And assume that I'm creating one more class. Something like C. incom.examples1. Okay, so here I can able to access. If it is public, okay, I can access. First, public means it is within the package, outside the package, so I can able to create a object. But if it is default also, still I can able to do it. Why? Because it is within the package. So but here it is throwing an error because outside it. Okay, I think you are clear. So, but what are the two access specifiers that we have? Other is private and protected. So as I told, your private and protected cannot be accessible at a class level. So they are accessible only at a method level. So I cannot access private and protected cannot, sorry, not cannot applicable at class level. So it means I'm trying to keep private or protected at class level. It should show me an error. So you see. So it will tell it is an illegal modifier exception. Your private cannot be put at a class level. The same way when you are trying to put it a protected also. Started, right? You see, it is throwing an error. Illegal access specifier. So private and protected cannot be applicable at a class level. So we'll see why it is not applicable. So once we covered with what I meant to say, once we have covered the okay, once we covered at method level, we'll see why it is not accessible. Okay. So what is an access specifier set a method? So assume that you are having a method called M1. Whatever the public and default things for a class level, the rule is same at a method level also. So I have a default method and I have a method with public. So inside M1 of A, I'm telling inside M2 of A. So can you tell me which methods are accessible at in class B? If I'm trying to, so I can create an object of A, yes. So but which method I can able to access in B class? Can you tell me? M1 and M2, both methods I can access.
I guess both.
Okay. So class B is where it is within the package of A or outside the package of A?
Outside the packet of A. It is on an
So
example2 package.
yes. So but here M1 is which method? If I'm not writing anything, which is default, right? M2 is public. Yeah. So what we have seen for a class. So if it is a default, can we access that class outside the package?
No.
So same case applicable for a method level, right? So if it is default, you cannot access that outside the package. So it means M1 cannot be accessed outside the package. M2 can be accessed outside the package. Why? Because M2 is public. M1 is default. So if you are trying to call M1 method, it will throw an error. Am I right?
Yes.
A dot M1, I cannot call, even it will not be visible also. A dot M12. So it will tell, okay, fine. For M1, you can see there was an error. Why it is showing error for M1? A dot M2 you can access, and if I'm trying to call A dot M1, it will throw me an error. See, A dot M2 you can access. There is no error for A dot M2. Why? Because it is a public here. So, but here it will throw an M1. M1 is, so M1 of type A is not visible. So it cannot find M1 method. So when M1 can be able to access, if I made it as public, that error also will. You see, both methods can be accessed now. Ferran, I can able to get the output. Okay, M1 of A, M2 of A.
If I have a question,
Hmm.
so if a method is default, can it
Okay.
be accessed by other class on the same package?
Yes. Whatever the rule applicable for the class, the same rule for the method also. So it is M1 is default. So now this M1 I cannot access in B, but this M1 can access in C. Yes, within the same package, right? So now I can able to access M1 as well as M2. You can create both the methods.
Okay, same goes for the class, right? If a class is
Same.
default class,
Yes.
we can access it across the package.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm. Whatever the rule, that's what, whatever the rule for the, which is their public and a default, what is the rule which is present for the class level, the same rule is present for a method level also. Nothing changed. Is it clear?
yeah.
So here assume that both methods are public. Okay, and if my class is default, so can I access this M1 and M2 outside the method, outside my package? No, right? So first of all,
No.
your class itself is not accessible. When class it's, so inside a class itself you have a method, so you cannot come to class. Then if the method is public also, you cannot access it, right? So for your first class should be public, then only it comes to the method. So you see, it cannot able to create a class itself, right? So next access specifier is private. So whenever your method is of private, so that cannot be accessible within the package also. It means that class can be accessible with, so that method can be accessible within the class only. So you cannot access that method within the package even. So assume that if I made my M1 method as private, so then this cannot be accessed even within the package. It means it cannot be accessed even in C class. Why? Because it is private. So where it can be accessed only within the class. So in the class itself, I can call this M1 method. So from M2, I can call it. Why? Because within the class. But I cannot call this method within the package. If you see, C is which is present here. So you see, it is throwing an error for M1. It is not accessible. So for sure, if it is not accessible within the package itself, so how it can be accessible outside? So outside also it cannot access. Okay, private is very more restriction, like which is accessibility is only to a particular class. So it means, for example, whenever you want to, what are the scenarios that you made a method as a private is nothing but you want some operations like updation operation or delete. So that particular class should have that. You have that restriction. You do not want another class to access that method. So in the same class, you have a different requirements, right? You will have a requirement to make it accessible within the what I mean to say. That if you declare a method, you will have a requirement. Okay, this method will be I want this method to be accessible anyway, so anyone can access it. So then I'll make it as a public. So if I want that method only restriction within the package, I'll make it as a default. I do not want that method like some of for example, you are doing a reading operation. So reading operations, you can, that read method you are trying to read from the database, so whatever it may be, you can make it as a public, so anyone can access. But for example, you are trying to make create or update or something, right? So then you can make that particular kind of scenarios as a private, so where you do not want other classes to access it. So based on the requirement, you will choose what are the access specifiers that you need it for a method level or a class level. Okay, so public is more having access visibility than compared to other things. Private is having less accessibility. Private is the least one, public is the highest one. So next you have protected. So here protected can be accessible in an indirect way. So what I mean to say, in an indirect way, you get to know. So if there is only child and parent relationship, then only you can access if the method is of protected. So assume that I am writing M1 method as protected. Okay, so whenever it is protected, even you cannot access. So outside the package, I'm trying to call M1 a.m1. So what happened? It is saying this a.m1 is not visible. Okay. So it cannot access, but protected can be able to access. So as I told you, in indirect way, what is that indirect way is nothing but you can, if there is only child and parent relationship, you can able to access that protected method. So if it is protected, yes, you can able to access within the package. As how you have a default, the same thing within the package you can access. But even this protected method, you have M1 method which is protected, and if you want to access it in B, which is outside the package, so then what you need to have a relationship between this A and B, then only you can able to access it. So otherwise I'll create one more class in class B, something like D. So sorry, don't confuse it. I thought of taking other examples, but so even in D I cannot access it. The M1 method, but how if there is the protected method can be accessed indirect way. What is an indirect way? If I have child parent relationship. So if D extends my A, so now what happens? Your A is the child and D is A is the what I mean to say A is the child and sorry D is the child and A is the parent of this class. So assume that you are having some void M3 method here, which is present in your class T. So as I told you, whenever you want to access parent class methods, you need to use super keyword, right? So I am trying to create an object of A. Okay, that can be possible because A is a public. So if I want to call a method A.m1, it will throw an error. So if I show, for sure it will throw an error because you cannot access indirect way. So what is the indirect way? So I can call A.m3 method, or sorry, I'll create a D object, not A object here. I'll create a D object, the present class object, and what I'll do, I'll call D.m3. Okay, I'm calling D.m3 method. So from this D.m3, I can able to call M1 method, that is super. So which calls the parent class M1 method, that is your protected method. So in this way, you can able to do that access. So whenever there is a child and parent relationship, so B cannot access M1. Why? Because there is no child and parentship between A and B, but D can access M1 protected method. Why? Because there is a child and parent relationship between A and D. So if I run it, you will get an output for so inside M1 of A. So how you are getting it? You are calling M3. M3 is calling M1 super.M1. So it will go to the parent class M1 and executes and it comes back. Assume this is default, right? So then I can able to do in this indirect way. Assume your M1 is of default. So can I able to call whenever there is a child and parent relationship?
No.
Yes, no. If it is having child and parent relationship also, so default cannot be called because that is very restricted to within the package. Even there is child and parent relationship also, you cannot call super.m1. It is throwing an error. Is M1 is not visible. Okay, other methods you can call it if it has an accessibility.
Can A access M3?
Sorry,
Can A
can
call M3?
from A,
Yeah, from A class.
from A class. So A is a parent, right?
Yes.
So you need to create an object and call it. So I need to create an object of D class and I will call D.M3. So what is an M3 method here? So here it should be public. So when it is public only you can call it. The same rule, right? So if it is public, you can call it. If it is not, you should not. You cannot call it. Got it?
Okay, so if M3 method is protected, then A cannot call it. Is that right?
Okay. I'll inside M3 of D. Okay, you want it to be protected. That's what you cannot, because parent cannot access child method. So you do not had a parent to child things. So
Okay.
child can access a parent, but parent cannot access the child methods.
Okay.
Hmm. Is it clear?
Yes.
So what are the conclusions from this? Your public is having more accessibility. So I'll just give a numbering which has more and less. So private has less accessibility. I'll just give it numbering from the first. So next has who has more accessibility is your default. So like more means like from less to topper. So next protected can I have little more accessibility, and public has more accessibility compared to all. Okay. And as I told you, why you are not allowed to sorry, you are not allowed to apply private and protected class level. I told you, right? So the reason for this is, so if you are trying to apply private and protected at a class level, what happens? The rule for a Java gets violated, right? So what is the rule? Whenever you write a class, that class should be used by someone, right? So what is a, if you are writing a class and if you make it as a private and if no one is using it, right? In a method is nothing but specific, like it may have 10 methods or 20 methods. So one method you are making, other method you will try to make it as useful, right? So with the private or protected, if you are trying to make it, so it is like you are trying to restrict that to a particular thing, right? So you are trying to not making the accessibility other, you are violating the Java rule. So that is the reason your private and protected are not accessible at a class level. So they are accessible only at your method. Okay. Okay. When you are trying to do overriding, there was a rule actually. So here you cannot reduce the accessibility. You should need to increase the accessibility. So you know what is overriding, right? So overriding and overloading will be having. So whenever I have a child and parent relationship, writing a same name, same method name, and same signature. You call this as overriding. So overloading is something. There are these two are popular questions in Java: overloading and overriding. So writing a same method name but different signature. Okay, this is your overriding, this is your overloading. So how your overriding looks is like, for example, I have a class A and I am just having a method called void m1. So if you see, for this, what is a signature is nothing but your method return type parameters that comes under signature. If you see, what is a parameter for me? Like 0 parameters. What is a return type? Void. So if I use the same syntax in my child class, then I call that as method overriding. So I have a class B which is of child of your A, then I'm trying to do overriding void m1. Okay, so if you see what is this parameter, zero parameters, zero parameter. What is the return type? Void. What is the name? M1. What is the name here? M1. So with the same name, same signature, you are calling it as method overriding. So why this overriding you do? Generally, your method has provided a body for it, but you do not want that same logic to be implemented for the child. So you will need to add some extra features or extra things, or you do not want that logic. You just do that overriding. If you do not do the overriding, it will behave whatever the logic for a parent. It is your choice based on the requirement. Okay, I want, okay, like the parent behavior is fine for me, I do not want their own behavior for me, so I'll just follow my parent. So then you do not do overriding. No, I want, I do not like, for example, your parent is having m1 and m2, right, methods. For m2 you are okay, but the logic for m2, okay, I will just follow what my parent done, so I'll not do overriding. So when I call, I can then I create a child object, and when I do a call, what happens, it will call the logic which is present in my m2. But for m1 method, what I want, okay, I do not want parent logic. So what I want child to be executed. So then I want my own logic, then I do over writing. Okay, is it clear? Okay,
Yes.
so here whenever you do the overriding, you can keep the same accessibility. So, or whenever the rule for overriding is, right, and we do overriding, we cannot reduce the accessibility, but we can increase the accessibility, increase or keep the same accessibility. So it means, what is the accessibility here? If I'm not writing anything, default. So when you're overriding, okay, default is fine. So here, what is accessibility? Default. So if it is default, I cannot reduce it. So it means if it is default, I cannot write it as private when I'm doing override, because I'm trying to reduce the accessibility. So this is the numbering I've given from increasing accessibility order, right? So private has less accessibility, default has little less, protected has less compared to protected has more accessibility compared to default, and public has more than all the above, right? So you are having a default, you are trying to reduce accessibility, that is not acceptable. So but you are having a default, you can increase the accessibility. It means I can make this method as a protected, it is allowed because I'm trying to increase it. Even I can make this method as public, even that is allowed, because if you are trying to, you are doing increasing that accessibility. So if it is public, your method, so it is not allowed any accessibility, you should write only public, because public is more accessible, right? You cannot try to reduce it. So you cannot reduce accessibility, you can increase or you can keep the same accessibility. So we have the child and parent relationship, right? Here we'll see. So you see here, A is my parent and D is the child. So you have M1 method. Otherwise, you take some other method called M3, or okay, let M1 is there. So you have M1 method public here, right? So when I do not want inside M1 of my B. What I want like some other logic over there. So then what I'll do, I will override that method. So how I will be overriding it? Void M1. So if you see, I'm trying to put it as a default, it is showing an error. So I can able to put only public here when I do it. So this is nothing but my overridden method. So if I am writing inside, so inside m1 of d. So now what happens here when I call d dot m1, what happens? It will execute m1 inside my d method, right? So like your a is having one more method called m2. Okay, so here you do not want to override. Okay, I'm fine with m2 logic, but I do not want m1 logic. So which method I overridden? I overridden only m1 logic. So public void m1. So now when I call e.m1, it will print this m1 method. So what happens whenever you create an object, it will just look that first that method present in the child or not. If not, only what it will do, it will go to the parent and execute. So if you call d.m2, what happens? It will execute it from the parent class method. So m1 will from child, m2 from parent class. Why? Because m2 is not present in the child. So what it will do, it will go to the parent and it will execute that. So in m1 from d, m2 from parent. You want m1 also from parent, you can write super keyword which will execute both the logics. If you do not write this method, it will execute only direct to the parent. Okay, so you got that, you understood we are doing an override. So you see what is that access specifier here? Public. So you see method name, signature, everything is same, right? Void m1, void m1. Okay, here it is an accessibility public, so I cannot write any other than public. Other than public, I am not allowed to write anything. If you write default, it will throw an error because default is lesser than public. Private, it will throw an error. Protected, it will throw an error. So if you are not allowed to write a public itself, so anyway you are not allowed to write anything. So it will throw an error, like it will telling that you do not have an accessibility. You cannot reduce. It will show that error also. Change it to the public. Cannot reduce the visibility of an inheritance method. So you are not allowed to reduce it. So if you make it as default here, so if I'm one method, I'm making it as default. So whenever I'm making it as default, so I can write it as default. Yes, I can write it as default. So even I can make it as I can write it as public. Yes, because you are trying to increase that. That is not a problem. Can I make it as private or protected? Protected, you can make it. Yes, protected also you can make it. So because this is also increasing it, but what I cannot make it, I cannot make it as private. Is it clear?
Yes.
Any queries?
Yeah, I have one query. So we
Please.
saw access modifiers in method level and class level. So in package
Yes.
level also, is there any?
No, nothing like that. So for a package, you will not write anything, right? You will not declare that. Nothing like that.
Okay.
Okay. So then we'll see about. So I'll just start an abstract thing. So we'll discuss more on tomorrow's session. But Hope for everyone it is clear.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So now we have a concept called abstract things. So what is an abstract methods? You have an abstract methods and abstract classes. So for example, if you declare any method as an abstract method, so that method will not have a body. So generally, what is an abstract method is nothing but generally as of now we have seen a method with a body, right? So where you will have a logic. So this is a method I am having, I'm writing some logic over here, right? So which will specify some action. But I do not want to write a logic. I'll be telling why I have an abstract method and why you need to use. I will be telling it. So whenever you want to write a method without any logic, so then you will write it as an abstract. So this is like your abstraction concept in Java. So I'll just declare a method and I'll end with semicolon. So I'll just put it as an abstract before it. So what is this method? This method is an abstract method. So it means this method is not having a body. So in a class, if you write at least one abstract method, your class should become as an abstract class. So how you write in a class as an abstract class? Before a class level, just write a keyword called abstract is a predefined keyword. So you will define at a class level and you just write it. So this is my abstract class. So this abstract class can have a normal methods as well as a abstract methods. So the vice versa condition is false. Like for example, if your class is abstract method, I am not having any abstract methods in it. That is not an issue. It will not throw an error, but it's not suggested. But if in the class, if any one of the method is an abstract, and if you are not writing your class as an abstract, it will throw. Okay, I think you got it. We'll see it in example also. So abstract is a predefined keyword. So how you will write an abstract method? Syntax for abstract method is so abstract keyword and method name. Method name semicolon and end. How you write abstract class? Syntax of an abstract. So how you will write abstract keyword and a class name. That's it. So just write an abstract keyword before this. So in this example one, I am creating one more abstract class, new class. Sorry. So you remember you cannot create an object of your abstract class. So this is a normal class, generally a class and a class name, right? So here I'll write a method called a normal method void m1, which is having a method body, right? So assume that I'm trying to write an abstract method here. So I will write abstract keyword and void m2 with semicolon. It's like ending. So then it is throwing an error. What is an error? So if you are having at least one abstract method, so your class must be an abstract. So I should declare this class as an abstract. See that error. So an abstract class can contain a normal method as well as an abstract. So who is going to write the logic for this abstract method is nothing but a class which extends this abstract example. So and even you are not allowed to create an object of this abstract class. So what is if I am trying to create an object of this, it will throw me an error. So it will tell that you cannot create an object of your abstract class. So then who will be creating? You cannot do the instantiation. That's what the error is. Okay. Then who is going to? So who is going to write the logic for this abstract example? The class which implements this abstract example will write a logic. So we'll see what is the reason for this. Generally, you will have a method to write a logic, right? So why this things and why you do not need it, why you need an abstract methods and examples we'll see it. Okay. So and even why the vice versa condition is false. For example, I am not having any abstract classes, abstract methods, but still your class can be an abstract, but it is not suggested whenever your class is not having any abstract methods. So why you declare it as an abstract? That is not suggested. Okay.
Can we
But the
create a constructor of abstract class?
sorry,
Can we create constructor of abstracting?
no, you cannot. Like constructor, 1 minute. So like you can, sorry, you can create it, but there is no use, right? So for the creation, so when the constructor gets executed, whatever the constructor, whenever you write a constructor, it will not throw error, but like your constructor will not execute, right?
It might execute, right? If you are extending
Yes,
it and then
from the child, it
creating.
might, from the child you can execute. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. You cannot execute from the current class, from the child class. Whenever you create a child object, yes, it will call the parent object. Sorry for that. Yes, exactly. I got confused. So who is going to write the logic for this? Nothing but your child class. For example, I'll have a child class. So it may be in the same package or it may be different. So I'm just naming it as abstract child. Address get it down. Okay. So this will extends this and it can able to. So this method in this, that overriding of abstract methods is mandatory. So generally your overriding is not mandatory, but whenever you implement abstract method classes, the overriding is mandatory. The class which implements has to do that. Okay. Okay. We'll see more about this abstract things and inheritance tomorrow. As of now, I'll wind it up. So any queries?
No.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Surya. Have a nice day. Bye.
Yes.
This conference will now be recorded.